Industry Insider is only available at Promo Corner, the leader in digital marketing for the promotional products industry. Each Monday, they discuss, dissect, and debate a single issue impacting the world of promotional marketing from every industry perspective. Now, it's time for Promo Corner's Industry Insider.
Welcome to another edition of the Industry Insider, your promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA, and we are brought to you today by Tervis, our good friends over at Tervis. Look, do you guys know that they added stainless to their well-established line about 2 years ago with the goal of being better than the competition by utilizing state-of-the-art custom 360-degree UV printing? They're available in 4 different sizes. They've got a 12-ounce, a 20-ounce, a 30-ounce, and now they've even got a 24-ounce water bottle and also a 24, 30, and 40-ounce wide mouth bottles, great for slipping ice cubes in. Even though these things are, they're going to keep, if you put cold water in there, it's going to stay cold even without the ice cubes. But, now with the wide mouth bottles, you can put the ice cubes in there and it'll last for easily 24 hours. 5-year warranty, 18.8 copper line, vacuum insulated. They'll keep your drinks hot for up to 8 hours and keep them cold for 24 hours. It's guaranteed, boys and girls. Check them out at tervispromos.com. You will not be sorry that you did. Why don't we say hello to our good friend, Meg Erber with SNS Activewear. How the hell are you doing today, Meg?
I'm doing good. I'm just having these last minute internet problems like usual,
Yeah, nothing like nothing like diving into the Zoom call at 11:59, 47 seconds.
Stresses me out, man. At least we're working on Facebook. At least we're on Facebook this time. At least we're got that going for us.
Well, your hype video was late this week too, but we won't get into that. Hi, Steven. How are you?
Yeah, hi, Steven. How are you?
I think that might have something to do with me.
Fair enough.
I'm doing all right. I'm we got my second vaccination yesterday, so I'm just a little bit dragging, but other than that,
you actually look really good for somebody that just had the second shot, from what I'm told.
I'm faking it.
Fake it till you make it. That's what the word on the street is. So, and look, we're joined today by a very special guest, Andy Cohen with ASI, and we're going to talk today about maybe coming back into some in-person events. What do y'all think?
I'm in.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Well, first of all, Andy, it is a customary thing here on the Industry Insider to allow our special guests each week a good 3 to 4 minutes to introduce yourself and tell the world who Andy Cohen is. All things Andy Cohen, how you got started or wrapped up in the promotional products industry, and what you've been up to since.
Sure. I don't even know that I need 3 to 4 minutes, but I'll give you what I got. So thanks for having me here, guys. I appreciate you having me on. And thankfully, I have not had the same internet problems that Meg has had this morning. So success, right? Oh, sorry, every morning. Okay, success for me so far. And my second vaccine shot was about 2 weeks ago. So I feel your pain, Stephen. So I am Andy Cohen, Senior Vice President of ASI. When did I get started in this industry? When I came to ASI about 16 years ago, I got started in this industry. I was initially editor of Counselor magazine. So my background is in the journalism and niche publishing world. And so I came to ASI then as editor of Counselor. More recently have expanded my role into many other things, inclusive of the operations and attendee marketing of ASI Show. So we have ASI Show under my group as well, also ASI Creative Labs and ASI Media. So pretty much anything we create comes through our group, and anything we put out there is put out by the incredible people that work on our team. So that's pretty much how I got into this industry. My sort of personal background, I live in Tuckahoe, New York. So Tuckahoe, interesting name, right?
You live in Tuckahoe, New Jersey. We do. It's a little small town.
You do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah, on your way to the shore. Like if you're going to Sea Isle or Ocean City, like right there on 49, it's like Tuckahoe.
Oh,
You'll miss it.
nice.
You blink, miss it. Go
So
ahead.
our Tuckahoe is just north of New York City, by about 30 minutes north of New York City, and live here with my wife and son. And my son is a junior in high school, so he's looking at colleges, and that is a full-time job, people. Anybody who's doing that, full-time job. So so we're just venturing into that world. So that's some background on me, but happy to answer any other questions for sure, or just jump
Well,
right into it.
you mentioned the publication, and so I
Oh,
remember just seeing something about a partnership that you guys did with some of the international promotional products associations. And anything that you can, and I apologize for not knowing. I think one was was it the UK or Europe? I'm not
yeah.
sure.
So Sourcing City and PSI over in Germany and the UK. So we've had a partnership with them for years now. So we just kind of expanded that. But ASI tries to serve a global marketplace. Most of our business and most of our members are uh, North America, US and Canada. But we do have some members on the other side of the pond. So that's just really just a way for us to join with organizations over there, to share some content, to agree to go to each other's shows. That's pretty much what that is.
All right.
So I have a question for you. It's an
Yeah.
interesting topic because I think we're all talking about this, and Stephen just brought it up, but he just got his second shot.
Mhm.
Are you guys, I know we hear things about there's certain universities now that are requiring the students to have a vaccination before coming back. And I think that's a very bold move to make. Again, to each his own. But for the so let's say, would ASI be ever do something like that? And there's a second part to that question is if not, let's say they got tested for the antibodies and they had their antibodies badge or card or sticker, would that be the
Wow.
same? Or I'm like, this is just a conversation. I don't know.
We're getting in the
I'm like,
weeds here, huh?
we are right into it.
Yeah. So no, we're not. I mean, and I assume you're talking about events, not ASI corporate, not
Right.
our own company. So we're not going to be like the colleges. We're not going to mandate that people have a vaccine to get into our shows or events or anything like that. I just don't. I think that's a little hard to do. I understand why schools are doing it. Totally get it. But I think from a business perspective, I think that's a little bit hard to do. So we've talked about it endlessly, but we're not going to be doing that. At our show in Chicago, we're going to have plenty of safety protocols that make people feel comfortable being there. Taking temperatures and social distancing and masks being mandated. Throughout the convention center. But we're not gonna be asking whether people are vaccinated or mandating in any way that they are vaccinated.
No,
Gotcha.
vaccination fast pass line.
You know what? I like the fast pass idea. That is a great idea. But no, we're not even going to ask the question. We actually had a meeting yesterday, and I brought up the idea: should we even ask the question to just get some intel, and some
Data,
information moving forward? And we stopped short on that. So,
Yeah.
I can't say we won't ever ask the question, but as of today, we're not asking the question.
I mean, it's a question to have. And I feel like the people that are vaccinated are super proud and that's totally fine. But I'm like, but I just got so I went and got tested for the antibodies because I was like, I swore that I had it, but didn't know, and it came back and I do, which is crazy. So it's like, but I can just show my little badge for that fast pass line and push Steven out of it and be like, get out of the way.
I don't know.
My antibodies.
I don't know if the antibodies count. I actually have no idea. That's the problem. That's the problem, though, is that we all have to become like armchair epidemiologists. It's annoying.
I know.
It's really hard to get in that world where you're sort of making decisions based on, I don't know, what you read or
right.
what the last person told you or what you saw on TV. That's a tough place to be. So it's definitely a unique time to be putting on events.
So Meg, since we're already in the weeds, why don't I ask you a quick question to continue down that rabbit hole? All right. On a scale of 1 to Arnold Schwarzenegger, how pumped do you feel having the antibodies?
Oh, I am like Arnold Schwarzenegger pumped. Like, oh, yes. I literally am going to make a badge or a sticker and be like, you got the antibodies.
Yeah, but in
Did you
Arnold's,
think,
in
did you,
Arnold's
did you
accent.
know a time when you thought you had it?
So yes, well, this was back when you only like if you had COVID, you were only like dying in the
Yeah.
hospital, couldn't breathe. Like I'm serious. So with last March, I talked about this a lot. They're cringing because they're afraid I'm going to say something. When we came back, we were up in Boston, like the epicenter, you know, when it first hit, and we had a volleyball tournament for my daughter, and there had to have been at least 30,000 people there. Like it was the Boston Convention Center. It was packed. I mean, I've never seen more people in a square foot, whatever. I mean, I had my neti pot, but there were no masks. They had hand sanitizer stations at every door, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I had a sore throat within like 2 days, and I had that sore throat for a month. And it was so bad. It felt like I was actually swallowing glass.
Wow.
And I went to the doctors twice. They had me on 2 different antibiotics. And I remember having a migraine so bad one day that I was throwing up. And now, like looking back, those are all symptoms. But back in March of last year, that was not a symptom. I mean, so I was like, man, I feel like I had it. And since then, I've been exposed so many times. Like every single person I feel like I know in my little area had it come Thanksgiving or Christmas. And I mean, we were at a dinner party and we were the only people who didn't get it. So it's like, I must have had it. And then I just went and got tested. I need to know. And now I just wish I had known earlier. I think I would have lived my life a little bit differently. Just maybe not so scared. I don't think I would have done anything differently, but like maybe not so scared.
Sure.
But that's all. That's all. Is that the rabbit hole question you were looking for?
Yeah, I mean, now I've got follow-up questions, but I don't think we should be. I don't think we need to keep going that way.
We all have follow-up questions.
Andy, let's just erase the last 4 minutes and go back to the segue about talking.
Do we get an edit button on this thing?
No, not today.
Unfortunately, that live button at the top of the screen doesn't allow us to rewind. So
It's
yeah,
screaming at us, unfortunately.
yeah. So look, why don't we go back, because you had mentioned the ASI show
Yep.
in Chicago. So you guys actually have a couple in-person events coming up. You've got the FASI 500 coming up in June, right? June 7th through the 10th. So that's just literally right around the corner. Less than a month.
That's in Austin.
Yep. And then, of course, ASI Chicago, July 13th through the 15th. So why don't you maybe talk us through the planning phases of that, obviously coming out of the pandemic, or at least on the tail end of it, and what that's like to really put together a live in-person event again. And first of all, kudos to you guys for being the first to do so. I know, there are a lot of people excited about, getting back at least to somewhat normal. You did mention there's going to be protocols in place and things like that to, to maintain safety. But look, regional shows are doing shows. The regional associations in our industry are doing shows. They have been for months. So, I'm sure the ASI Chicago is going to be very similar to those live in-person events, but, just on a much larger scale. So why don't you take us through some of that planning phase, or some of the planning process for that?
Sure. It's interesting to be planning events in this time. That is for sure. So as you mentioned, Jeff, we actually have 2 FASI 500 events in June, even before our Chicago event. So one's in Austin and one's in Denver. Austin is first, and then Denver is later in the month of June. And then we go to Chicago in July 13th to 15th. So the planning for those, I, I would say it's a roller coaster, because things change literally every day. So, for example, Chicago, I was just on a call earlier today, where our operations manager was talking to them about, a safety protocol plan that they have to approve. Well, that changes hourly practically, based on the percent of people in Chicago who are vaccinated, the positive percent of COVID tests in the area. So so things definitely change, and trying to put on events in that changing time frame is really unique. But we've jumped in with 2 feet, and we're trying to do everything as safe as it can be, just to try to make people as comfortable as they can possibly be. Like Meg, you were saying, it's people have different outlooks, and that's totally true. There's what's safe to one person is completely unsafe to another. So So we are trying to make things as safe as possible at our events. Masks will be mandatory at the events. There'll be hand sanitizer up probably in more places than people even want it. And we'll be encouraging social distancing and ensuring that that people are doing the things that are necessary to provide a safe environment. But Jeff, to your question on planning for it, it changes by the moment. So it's incumbent upon us to stay up on local initiatives that are happening in the places that we're in. But also understanding that people are flying to our events and coming from everywhere. So that's difficult. I mean, we have our first in-person event is in Austin, and we have a nice amount of suppliers and distributors that are joining us there, and the rules in Texas are kind of different than say where I am in the Northeast. So we talk to our contacts there, and it's like, yeah, well, you don't need to have masks, or you do in some places and you don't in others. And I'm like, well, okay, well, our people are coming from everywhere, so we need to
Wow.
accommodate everybody. But that makes it hard. That makes it really hard when you're trying, and there's 50 different states that are coming up with 50 different plans, but we could have people coming from any of them. That makes it difficult to accommodate. So we're erring on the side of being as safe as possible as we put these events together.
Hey,
Sure.
Andy, when you guys are planning these events, is it the convention centers and the places that you're booked at that kind of come up with these rules, or is it actually because of the size? Do you have to get into more of the planning with even like the state and local governments and things like that?
So it depends on the size. The FASI 500 events that we're doing in June in Austin and Denver, for those we really just need to coordinate with the properties. So those two are at Embassy Suites in those respective cities, and so we have to just coordinate with them on what their rules are. And I was joking about Texas, but while Texas does have many open rules, I would say the Embassy Suites there does not. So they have masks throughout the building and ensure that there's a safe environment. So we didn't have to totally do it on our own, which is actually somewhat helpful because. Like I said, we're not all experts, but we need some guidance. So for those smaller events, it's the local property. When you talk about Chicago, it gets into McCormick Place, which then has to report to the city, which has to report to the state. So you do get into local government issues. We're on calls with their uh, with their sort of local government almost all the time, and a lot of it is based on what their protocols are throughout the city. And Chicago and Illinois, unlike Austin and Texas, are very different. So the safety protocols throughout Illinois and Chicago are pretty tight, and they're just starting to open things up now, which is great for us because I think come to a pretty open city when we're there in July. But getting to that point, it has been tricky. So yeah, Stephen, to to address that for Chicago specifically, it's definitely some governmental organizations through the convention center.
Yeah, I mean, last year you guys had it on the schedule till pretty late. I know I was talking to Michelle Bell and she was like, we can't cancel it until they cancel it for us. I know it was like insane. And everyone was like, well, what's going on? What's going on? And I know everyone wanted that industry big trade show last year, but it was probably better that it was canceled. And then
I think it was almost forced upon us when it happened.
yeah,
Like our hope all the way was that we could do it, and we had moved it from the summer to closer into the fall. But once it became obvious as we got into that sort of summer time frame that it really couldn't happen, then it became a little clear. But it was sort of dragged out on us a little bit. The city of Chicago was always hopeful that there could be events, so they kept things on the calendar, and that put us in a bit of a bind. But our hope too was that we could have the event. We would, if we can have an event, we're going to have an event. That's why we're doing Chicago in July now. It's early, and we're happy to be the first to have a big event in the industry for coming on 18 months or the better part of
yeah.
it. So if we can have one, we're going to. So we wanted to then too, but it just clearly wasn't going to be practical in any way. And once COVID cases started to take off, it was clear that was not going to happen.
Yeah.
So is
Yeah.
there panic involved with the possibility, like the what if? Like what if there is a big outbreak or something from an in-person event in the industry?
Is
Does
there
that play a role?
is there is there panic now, or was there back then? Back last
when
year?
when you're planning and now, like what's
I don't have panic about that now. I think if we were talking a year ago, or let's say even 8 to 10 months ago, I would say, yeah, that's definitely a concern. Now, my feeling now is, most people are either vaccinated or feel pretty good about traveling and going to an event. So, what I'm not sure what's happening. There's sort of hand motions
I
and
was
sort
making
of
the
voice motions.
antibody badge.
you missed
Okay.
you
We have
missed
a
the
lot of
opportunity to
banter that
bring
goes
Connor
on. Yeah. Go
It
ahead.
was banter, but it was like that, nonverbal communication that I just couldn't quite pick up on.
Well, we're actually exchanging text messages behind your back, Andy. So
I figured that. Yeah, it's all good.
yeah, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
used to being talked about while on meetings. It's totally fine.
No,
We
not
have
at
a
all.
lot of people blowing up on the promo corner page about this. Melissa was like, "Are you guys coming?" And a bunch of people are saying yes, no. JGR said she would love to meet up, but she has a feeling that we'll be busy, or maybe that was for Brandon. So yeah, but I'm excited. I mean, a lot of people are going to be there, and
I look, there's a lot of excitement. As soon as we sort of we've had it on the calendar forever. It was never off of our calendar as far as this July is concerned. But it was just recently that we really got a sort of pure go ahead from Chicago, and where we could open up registration and housing and get all those things really going. And so once we did that, we've seen some real excitement in the industry. Look, you guys know we're a face-to-face industry. We have to get back to events. So
I think
that's what we're trying to do.
I think that's a really good opportunity to ask you about a hybrid situation, because we've been talking about this hybrid lifestyle that we're living in now. I mean, we were literally just talking about it before we came onto the show about, there's a lot of folks don't even want to go back on the road or want to go back in the office or whatever it may be. Are you guys planning on, administering or doing any type of hybrid situation that goes in conjunction with your in-person events over the next year or two or however long, or is it just strictly the in-person thing?
Yeah, so I would bet that we will do something hybrid within the next year. We don't have it exactly planned yet, but I think that there will be things in conjunction that are happening at the exact same time or within the same time frame that are connected both in person and hybrid. Right now, we still have virtual events on our calendar. So we have another ASI Show Digital Expo coming up in late August. That's just a pure virtual event. But I think that there's still going to be a market for virtual. It's
oh yeah,
clearly different, and you'll have plenty of people that are sick of seeing themselves on the video screen like we all probably are right now. But I think that there's an appetite for distributors to get easy access to exhibiting suppliers and get information that they need to help sell products. So I think that there's an appetite for that. We are looking at doing some hybrid events as well to maybe education to an event is more hybrid than in person. Maybe there's aspects of a show that are more hybrid than in person, but also in conjunction with that in person element that I think is necessary too.
All right. And I know that we're still, really early on, because you guys basically just announced that we are for sure a green light for Chicago and some of these in-person events. I mean, how do you guys expect, registration or attendance to be for these shows? I mean, is it something that suppliers will find, really good value in? And also with the pandemic, I mean, and sorry, it's a two-stage question, but When you're doing the contract, are you able to use the pandemic to negotiate the prices with a place like McCormick, or are they just it's either this or it's no? You know?
We're pretty to address that first is because it's easy. We're pretty locked in.
Yep.
Especially convention center contracts, they happen pretty far in advance. So uh, if I'm working on a contract now for say 24,
Oh, wow.
then I could potentially we could put extra additional clauses in the terms and conditions to try to get us out if there was another pandemic. But
Gotcha.
for this one to negotiate prices, it's the ship sailed probably years ago, frankly. So if we all could have foreseen that this past year was going to be this way, then maybe, Jeff, we could have done that.
I mean, I blame you. I blame you for not having the foresight to see this coming.
You know what? I think if I had the foresight to see this coming, I'd be doing something else.
Yeah.
Very true.
So
All
to
right,
Question for
address,
you.
let's address the registration
yeah,
question.
to
Oh, go
address
back.
your
Yeah,
other
yeah.
question. We, as I've said, we've seen some really good excitement. I'm gonna guess that we're probably gonna run around 60 to 70% of our normal pre-reg for a Chicago show. So there may be 5,000 or so registered for a Chicago show pre-pandemic. So I would think we're probably in the 60 to 70% area of that. That's a guess right now, because we really have just opened. But the first few weeks have been good to get people to be signed up to come to the show. We'll see how that sticks when we get to the show, but there's some really good excitement from the distributor side, and we're talking to them every day. And every day, some new big distributors are signing up to ensure that they're bringing a bunch of their people to the show. So there's excitement there. If we were 4 weeks from now, I'd better be able to answer that question. We're still
Yeah,
a
for
little
sure.
early stage as far as numbers and registration is concerned, but there's some good activity for sure.
Well, I think with vaccines just now really becoming readily available to the masses, I think you're going to see a spike in that as well as you get closer to the event for sure. You'll probably see, in my opinion, a lot more like higher intake when it comes to registration, like much closer to the event, I would
Mhm.
imagine.
And look, that's one reason why we've kicked around asking the question. To go back to what we were talking about originally, about vaccine, or have you been vaccinated, or have you not? Almost just to sort of plan it out. Like we don't. This is a total anomaly. Trying to plan registration for this event is has never been done before in this kind of environment. We're expecting that, like you said, Jeff, as we get closer, that there will be an extreme uptick in our registrations. But it is hard to plan for because it's a completely unique uh, time to be doing that. But we're seeing every week we see hundreds of people that are signing up. So there is activity, and my expectation is that there's even more as we get closer. I think the month of
Oh, yeah.
June will be interesting for that. We also track locations, and Chicago tends to be a relatively local Midwest show, but it does have some fly-ins. We just noticed recently that we had a huge uptick on registrations from Florida. So maybe that says a lot about Florida, but but whatever it says, they're coming. They're making decisions now. To your point, Jeff, about okay, I feel good about traveling. And I look, my travel's about to pick up. I haven't gotten on a plane since February of 2020, and all of a sudden I'm going to be, I have a wedding in Chicago, followed by a trip to Austin, and then back to Chicago. It's like suddenly you just ramp up, like it's like before. So
Yeah.
it'll be
I miss
interesting
that.
to see how people
Yeah,
jump
we
in
we
there.
actually had we had flights booked for Puerto Vallarta here towards the end of the month for a wedding, and the only reason we ended up canceling it was because it's international, and
Yeah.
so the rules are different. Like if you end up getting it while you're there and you test positive for your test to come back into the country, they won't let you get on the plane or come back into the country. So there's different circumstances. Internet or just within the country, I would definitely jump on a plane. I got no problem with it.
Yeah.
So,
Me
do you
too
guys
now.
have any other questions?
Well, yeah, I have a question for you, Andy. What events or what are you looking forward to the most about the ASI show in Chicago? What is like the thing that we should all be like, oh, I will have FOMO if I don't go to that, or that type of thing?
I think it's the overall, like the idea of people getting back together it's just exciting. It's been so damn long.
I
you
know.
know it's
Yeah.
just so long since people have had the opportunity to just be in person, basically. And so look, we have education day, we have receptions, we have a keynote from Terry Bradshaw. All of that, I think, is going to be really good, and I think people will enjoy them. But it's that activity on the trade show floor. It's distributors that get to see products in person and touch and feel them and talk to suppliers to get ideas on how they could sell those products. Like that is what's been missing in this market, and clearly we need to get back to. So to me, it's that overall connecting and networking ability that I think we're all probably just a little tired of doing on Zoom.
Sure. Stephen, Meg, any other?
The only other thing I was going to say is, I would encourage people to go check out the website to see, there's a pretty packed education schedule as well. So I think that it looks like you guys have done an awesome job at go ahead and making, it looks normal, right? Which I
Yeah.
think is what people have been missing. And so I'm excited. I think that a lot of people will be excited, and yeah, just go check out what's been put on the website so people can see what they have to look forward to.
Yeah, there's a lot of information at asishow.com, both on safety, as we talked a lot about today, but also the agenda and what to expect when you get to Chicago. So it's exciting. We're really looking forward to it. As we said, the plans will change every day, but as they do, we'll communicate them.
Very cool. All right, so do we want to launch into rapid fire then?
Sure, let's go.
I'm nervous.
You should be.
Can I pass?
No.
Only if it has to do with like dancing or something. It's only passes people go,
Yeah,
whatever.
Okay, we won't talk about that.
All right, Meg, what's your question?
All right. If someone was going to play you in a movie about your life, who would it be?
Wow. Huh.
I think
With Gerard
Jeffrey-
Butler.
Gerard Butler?
Let's do that.
He's fine.
Meg, what were you going to say?
I don't know. I
You
said
were
that
saying- you were
Gerard.
saying something about Jeff. You were,
Oh yeah. I was gonna say you could be Vin Diesel and Steven could be Mini Me.
Well, I was going to go that route because you've already kind of made me Vin Diesel. So no, I don't know. I'd go with like a chunky Ben Affleck. You'd have to put on some weight to play me,
Okay. How about you, Andy?
I don't know that I have a look-alike per se. And he's not an actor, but he has my name. So the Bravo Andy Cohen.
There you go.
I get, not that I get mistaken for, but when people see my name, they think that they're going to have him come in. So I went to a restaurant recently to pick up food, and the person at the at the front, I said, I'm picking up an order for Andy Cohen. And she immediately, her face just dropped, and she said, "Oh, I thought you were going to be the guy." And I was like, I am the freaking guy, just not that guy. So I guess he would have to play me.
That'd be awesome.
Fair enough. What about you, Meg?
Meg?
Sandra
I
Bullock?
always I don't always think about that, but just now. Gosh, I mean, if we went with the refacing thing, I would say Sandra Bullock because I used to always get that. But I don't know if she's like, I feel like Wanda Sykes would play a good Meg Herber.
That's a good option.
I went the other direction. Just
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Stephen, go ahead and what is your rapid fire question?
Favorite fast food place?
Favorite fast food place? I'll go Wendy's.
Chick-fil-A, easy.
Did you hear that they're like, there's like a shortage on Chick-fil-A sauce?
We don't
You know,
really
there's a
have
shortage on,
we
like,
don't really
everything.
have Chick-fil-A here in New York. So Chick-fil-A is like not a thing.
That's because you haven't had the foreshadowing of the pandemic in order to be doing something different. And so when you were doing something different, you should have brought in the franchise of the Chick-fil-A into New York. I mean, do you have any
I've looked into
idea
that.
things that wrap around these buildings?
Here's
The
the thing.
drive-through lines literally go around the buildings
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 times, and you can't drive past a Chick-fil-A without seeing that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
It
trying to
is.
figure out what's longer, the gas lines or the Chick-fil-A lines.
I was just gonna say the gas
Chick-fil-A.
lines.
Chick-fil-A is still guaranteed.
Yeah, we don't have it. I've had a Chick-fil-A sandwich like once in my life, I think. As
Andy, do
crazy as
yourself
that
a favor.
sounds.
Get down south and get yourself some Chick-fil-A.
We do
I
have
got-
it near our office, so I get there once in a while, although not recently.
Jeff, what's yours?
Huh?
What's
I just
yours?
said- I just
no,
said
no, no.
Chick-fil-A.
You're rapid fire.
Oh,
Oh,
you
well,
didn't ask me
Meg
which-
hasn't answered the question.
I thought you did.
No.
What was yours?
I did. So it's a local like fast food joint, and it's called Jim's Lunch, and it's only open from Columbus Day to Memorial Day, and they have like a secret sauce, and it's in Millville, so it's like a hometown little fast food joint, but they have the best hamburgers on the face of this earth.
But
Special
wait,
sauce.
is that fast food? Like I think chain fast food.
It's
no?
okay. So then chain Chick-fil-A, I guess.
You can't answer that. That was Jeff's answer.
Columbus to Memorial Day. What do they do in the summer? Is this like
They vacation because they are
Really?
so like they just probably make so much money that they're like, I'm not gonna work this summer. They
Wow.
don't.
Wow.
But
Pretty
it's
cool.
like legendary, like historic, like they have like signs in there from like people that are overseas, and they're like, I can't wait to come home and have like a Jim's lunch burger, like stuff like that. So
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
look, in the spirit of the weather getting nicer and it becoming grill season, what is your favorite kind of grill? Are you a propane guy, girl? Are you charcoal? Are you pellet? Is there a particular type? Are you like a new egg or a not a new egg, a green egg?
a green
or-
egg.
Yeah, that
Or
one.
new egg.
Moto,
Good
whatever.
one.
What's let's hear it.
I have a pit barrel smoker. We haven't used our grill in like 3 years. We put everything on that pit barrel smoker, and it's amazing. Highly recommend. And it was really cool. They were like, oh, if you're a military person, let us know. We'll put like a veteran little thing on it. So my pit barrel smoker has like a Navy veteran emblem on it, which is really cool. So
Wow.
And is that powered by pellet or wood?
charcoal and charcoal and VJ.
Charcoal and VJ. All right,
Yeah.
VJ is the key there.
Huh.
Steven?
I have a pellet smoker. That's probably my preferred method. It's currently broken, but I know it's a shame. I got to get it fixed up like
Yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. Andy, how about you?
So I'm a simple guy. So my only grill is a Weber propane grill.
Nice.
But boy, does it serve its year-round purpose around here.
Hey man,
So-
let me give you just a quick tip or a piece of advice.
please.
I'm with Steven. Okay, I've got a one of those pellet grills. It does smoking and all that good stuff as well. But the beautiful thing about the pellet is that it's so much faster than charcoal. The taste is still there. It's phenomenal, but it's as quick and simple as propane.
Really?
So yeah,
What's the
I would
pit barrel
recommend
smoker?
pellet grill hardcore.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah,
Although
try it.
as I said, I am a simple guy, so I want to turn the thing on and put my
That's-
burgers on the grill and call
how
it
it
a
works.
day.
Yeah, that's how it works with the pellet grills, man. They're really nice. So
You got to get
All
yourself
right,
a PJ.
you got a question for us? It is your turn.
Do I have a question for you? Okay, I wasn't prepared. Jeez. Favorite summer activity?
When my kids go to summer camp. Just kidding. I would say the beach. I love the beach. We have a house in CIO. Go down there, invite friends down. That's it, probably.
Yeah. So prior to the kids, I would have said vacationing in like the Caribbean. But now it's either riding the motorcycle or I actually just got a kayak, so I'm going to be doing that as well.
Ooh, I got one too.
Yeah.
For Mother's Day.
Nice.
You should have races.
With
It's
the
a nice
kids.
Mother's
Y'all
Day
should have
gift.
races.
Well, she would probably win because I got
Kayak races.
Mine is not a fast one. It's,
It's a Jeff Franklin one.
it is.
Typically, we do like a vacation or travel in the summer. So I would say whatever that is, wherever that's going, would probably be my favorite thing in the summer.
Yeah,
You,
I'm
Andy?
similar, but mine is beach, beach and pool and sitting out and reading a book and hanging out. That's me. And having a few beers.
Damn it, guys. We missed the opportunity here. Our
Oh.
favorite summer activity is going to ASI Chicago.
Oh.
Come on.
That's a good point.
Come on. We all missed it. Andy, you're in charge and you missed it. Come on.
I know. So yeah, I'll take mine back. Chicago.
Fair
See you guys there on
See
July
you.
13th.
Well, you know what else is really good for summertime activities is some really good drinking vessels. You got to be able to keep those drinks cold when it's nice and hot outside. So I'd highly recommend our friends over at Tervis. They've been around since 1946 and are celebrating 75 years in business, starting with their classic line. They've got sleek styles that make perfect for the active and on-the-go lifestyle. They're the original double wall insulated drinkware that keeps your cold drinks cold and reduces condensation, and they're backed by a made-for-life guarantee. Tervis is the original customizable double wall insulated drinkware that keeps hot drinks hot and cold drinks cold. Available in several sizes, including a 16-ounce mug, a 16-ounce or 24-ounce tumbler, and a 24-ounce water bottle. They're made from Triton plastic, made in America, lifetime warranty, dishwasher safe, microwave safe, and they're BPA free. You guys got to go check them out at tervispromos.com to learn more. And I think that about wraps it up. Hopefully you guys got some good information on here. Hopefully we're setting you at ease to go attend ASI Chicago. Look, if you don't normally go to Chicago, but you go to Vegas or Orlando or wherever, guess what? We didn't have those shows this year. So get your butt on a plane and go to Chicago in July. All right.
Yeah.
Exactly what he said.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, guys. Good hanging out with you. We'll see you next week.
Sounds
Take
good.
care.
Thanks for having me.
Bye. Thanks, Andy.
Hey.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Promo Corner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit promocorner.com.